I want to start off today's daily financial news with a quick review of a post or tweet that I saw Brad Lea put out yesterday. I thought it was very wise and very valuable, and I thought it was something that would warrant discussion in this group and maybe give you something to think about. So these are the 6 things that Brad Lea wish he knew in his 20s. Number 1, time is your greatest asset. A lot of us believe, from starting at 20 and on, that it's money, it's this, it's that. It really is. Time is your greatest asset. Number 2, relationships over money. Relationships over money. Number 3, failure is feedback. Pretty wise. Number 4, consistency beats talent. Thankfully, that is something that I believe as well, because I am certainly not the most talented guy out there, but I am certainly willing to do the work repeatedly, day after day, long after other people get bored and move on. I am still in the mud doing the work. So again, consistency beats talent. Number 5, health is wealth. This is something that I will be taking on the chin in 2025. We're talking again with Dr. Gross tomorrow, looking over my labs and numbers. We will share it all with you here because I want to see what kind of transformation, this old guy can get done in a year. So health is wealth. And finally, happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And that one really hits because when you get the opportunity to interact and network with hundreds and sometimes thousands of people, you really start to unearth people's orientations, right? Are you glass half full or glass half empty? It is certainly a more enjoyable life if you are a glass half full. If you kind of live in the doom loop and echo chambers, it has to be a miserable, stressful life. So again, I just thought I would share those with you. I don't normally start off the daily financial news with a tweet or a post, but I want to give Brad Lea his flowers. I thought that was a well-timed, well-put-together list of 6 things he wished he knew in his 20s. On to the daily news. We got Fed member Daly from San Francisco saying, we are ready to raise rates if inflation breaks out again. Well, Ms. Daly, I think based on the numbers, we will see headline inflation on Wednesday tick up. And given food costs and the like at the commodity sector, we may be on the cusp of inflation accelerating. Wells Fargo analysis talking about CPI data this week to show a stalling fight against inflation. Now, remember, folks, we've been talking about this for quite a while on this show, usually on Sundays with Mr. Dan Bird. This base effect is rough this month, meaning we're rolling off a small number. So having the CPI tick up this week, kind of predictable, but it does get better for the next 4 or 5 months. Again, the math looks like CPI could be under 2% by, let's call it April, maybe May. But definitely we are going to see a news cycle talking about inflation. Why? Because the Fed will be meeting the following week and likely cutting again. We've got some economist, Chris Rupke. Fed does not need to be tinkering with the economy. Well, unfortunately, I believe they're going to be tinkering with the economy. Chris says they will cut in December, but the next move is anyone's guess. Again, this is something that I've been bringing you to this channel for quite a while. I think the Fed cut in December is telegraphed. They're going to do it. But there's a chance, a non-zero chance they do not cut at all in 2025, and probably a decent chance they don't cut in the first half of 2025. Not to be outdone, Joseph Lavorgna says that there is no reason to cut. They should pause. They are risking a speculative bubble. That is something to think about. I want to highlight Jason Pritchard. He was nice enough to spend 2 hours with our school community yesterday. We are going to be publishing this at 12 o'clock today. So if you're not a member of school, congratulations, you're getting lucky. I'm going to put it up on YouTube here at noon, simply because I want you to see what you are missing. In this 2-hour session, we talked about a guru facing 30 years in jail, federal prison, I believe. We talked about how Jason has a $200,000 private money loan going bad. This is his money he lent out to someone. We talked about getting started with only $30K and looking to build a portfolio up to 10 grand in cash flow. We talked about leveraging and growing virtual assistants. We looked at a fourplex deal that somebody was interested in. And we talked about gaining confidence in public speaking. That list and much, much more. You are in for a treat with the one and only Jason Pritchard again at noon today. I don't want to, cause any bad luck or bad juju, but I am looking at the world today, and there's a chance, folks, that we have relative peace by the end of the year, maybe the end of January. It certainly feels like peace is coming, at least some agreements. It certainly feels like the last conflict in Ukraine with Russia seems to be coming to an end. Don't know how that will be negotiated or the peace treaty, but let's all hope for peace. Let's all hope that these warring factions go back and we can stop killing tens of hundreds of thousands of people. It's not worth it. So again, let's hope that happens. Let's hope we have peace by the end of the year, if not by the end of January. That would be a great thing to wish for. Don't know if you guys watch baseball. I certainly don't. But did you guys see this? Juan Soto agreed to a 15-year contract, 15 years, for $765 million with the New York Mets. Who knew the New York Mets had that kind of big bankroll? But yes, $765 million to play baseball. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Looks like China is going after NVIDIA. Looks like they have opened an investigation for anti-monopoly. Again, they are essentially looking, I guess, at NVIDIA for being the monopoly for chips. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Want to talk about the accountability group. Again, folks, we have 3 accountability groups plus the ladies of ORAT and the unicorn agents of 5 weekly sessions. This Sunday, feedback from Jared was they talked about cash flow game, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, playing that, what you can learn. Talked about fractional investing. Talked about vending versus laundry. Talked about the beneficial ownership information, BOI. This is, again, something that was supposed to be done for LLCs. I will be talking to an attorney tomorrow about the BOI, about what happened in Texas. So we will get this from an attorney tomorrow. We talked about Section 8. We talked about what other YouTube channels you should watch for good information. So again, shout out Jared and all that joined the accountability group. I will say that nobody has joined school in the last 48 hours. That's a little disappointing. Again, we are putting on, daily activities there. We have sessions and education and all of that stuff. So again, join school, 67 cents a day. There's now a map on the front page if you're on your desktop. If you wanted to add your location, see what other people are at, there's over 100 people in the map, which is pretty cool. Did see this note this morning that Trump will not try to remove Jerome Powell. Frankly, I think that is a good thing. I believe Jerome Powell's term is up in 2026. And frankly, Trump has a lot on his plate. He does not need another thing to do. So I think letting Powell run out his term is the right thing to do. And we'll see where he goes from there. Let's talk about tariffs. Again, something about tariffs, when you really look at how they can be used as a tool of negotiation, there's actually, it doesn't take a lot of thought experiment to figure out how this threat of tariffs could actually be good to the U.S. economy. Play with this for a minute. Let's say for a minute you are a car manufacturer, right? You're Ford, you're GM, whatever. And you're trying to sell your cars to, say, Japan. Did you know that Japan has 100% tariff on U.S. manufactured cars? That probably makes it really hard to sell Ford and GM in Japan. So what might happen? Trump may come in and say, hey, Japan, that's not fair. We are going to slap 100% tariff on Toyota and whatever other Hondas and whatever other cars come from Japan. Guess what will likely happen? I suspect Japan will simply negotiate and lower, if not remove, that 100% tariff on U.S. cars. And that's just one example. Again, there are many others out there where the trade is not fair. It's not even close to fair. So again, what would that negotiation look like? Well, you might be able to sell more cars in Japan. That would be good for our economy. We would export more stuff. Again, it is possible that tariff and the threat of tariffs will be a net positive to the U.S. economy. So again, there is obviously this threat, their response, more sales, more jobs, right? If you kind of play the dominoes of how this could go, you really could get to that direction. So again, folks, a lot of good stuff. Let's hope for peace in the world. Let's get through the CPI print on Wednesday, the PPI print on Thursday. Let's get that one last Fed rate cut. And then 2025 will be here before we know it. Can you guys believe we are already in December? Let's call it the middle of December almost. It's the 9th. How many days are left in the year? It's like 3 weeks left in 2024. Pretty wild. Okay, folks, time to buy your tickets to the ORAD event in Vegas. We're down under 70 days. You know you want to be there. You know you have to be there. You got to meet people in real life, network, ask questions, meet all the people that are on the channel. And I hope to see you all there. You can go to Eventbrite and look up One Rental at a Time. You could go to school and join the school community. Hope to see you there. If you join, introduce yourself. You get all kinds of free goodies at level 2 and level 3. Take care. Have fun. Later.